This is definitely Icy Wind, right? This is for sure Icy Wind. Okay, it's not Icy Wind. Why didn't he throw Icy Wind? I wanted to win with 2 shields so badly there. Oh well. That was 6 were made. 6 were made. Hey, how's it going everyone? Today I actually have a pretty good team. Not to say my other teams on YouTube weren't good, but I tried it for the first time and I went 18-7 with it. This is Roserade, Bastiodon and Stunfisk. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the double steal backline. People say it's dirty. And essentially, I'm just replacing Venusaur with Roserade, but I was very inspired by 2000 Red's duo stream with me on Sunday, where he used Roserade and Stunfisk and Sableye, but I thought I would kind of change that and make it more into an ABB line. And yeah, I've just been winning games left, right, and center, and I probably would have won more if I didn't throw a couple of games, as you saw earlier on in the video as well. It's just so consistent. Roserade's such a very solid core breaker. So I'm just gonna quickly go through some of my games and commentate over it as I go. So let's get right into it. So in our first game, we have Medicham lead, pretty decent. Most of these guys run Psychic, so you do need to watch out for that. I decided to go for the Grass Knot here, which does significant damage, and seeing as I'm already, in here, I need to shield. Also, both my backline completely lose it. He switches in Hypno. I do tank a Confusion, unfortunately, so I have to quickly switch into my Stunfisk. I tank a Shadow Ball here. I can't really shield again because I already used one. I go for the Earthquake here, pretty risky, probably should have baited, but he doesn't actually shield, so really good for me. I counted and this was like a punch, and if he's got Shadow Ball, it's probably his punch is Thunder and not Fire. And now that I have this extra energy, I can take his shield, using Earthquake to force the last shield, and I barely get the final Rock Slide off as well, and which he also shields, which is really nice. And I do have the the Weather Ball ready, and as soon as he switches to Umbreon, we just instantly go into our Bastiodon here. And this is a bit of a Resident Sleeper matchup, so let's just speed this up a little. I do have the extra shield, which I'm just going to use on the Roserade just in case. As soon as the Medicham comes back out, I counted 5, so I decided to flex a bit and let it go. And there's our first game. So that was pretty good lead, the fighter in the lead rather than in the back. Another good lead here. He switches to Stunfisk. This is a bit of an issue because this is where Roserade is, like I said, a core breaker because it has the fire moves for the steel and grass, but it also has the grass moves for the likes of Azu and other water types. So here we kind of need the Roserade for like more than 2 Pokemon, so we do have to stay in a bit. So now that I have 2 Weather Balls, I can throw them back to back, but he doesn't shield a single one. And he's probably not going to come back in Meganium here, so we decide to just quickly switch out, seeing as we can kill that with Bastiodon. And he's probably going to save his shields for the Roserade, knowing that I farmed up a bit before. And yeah, the only thing we can do here is throw Rock Slides. And I was really tempted to shield this because it could have been EQ, but I was like, I gotta keep my shields for Roserade so I can take care of this. And he ends up wasting his energy throwing 2 Frenzy Plants before I get to my last Rock Slide. So pretty good that I didn't shield initially. So now we're gonna throw off these Weather Balls. I think he's trying to farm me down. I get the last shield. Honestly, this was kind of pointless because he had the 2 shields. I could have just switched to Bastiodon much sooner and get those smackdown damage way sooner. I shield here, hoping it was an EQ, but I don't think he had it, and I figured I can't waste my energy here. I need to farm this down and then throw the Flamethrower. because if he had it, he would have thrown, and yeah, he didn't have the EQ or another frenzy, so we take this game. Next game, really bad lead, but we kind of designed our team for this so that we have like two, you know, steel types. Well, two Pokemon that can throw rock moves at it. We get the shield here, which is really nice. This Swampert can't kill us because it's not Shadow, so we can barely survive, and we can actually get the EQ off here because we baited. So now we can just... this Roserade is completely useless because of Talonflame, so I decided not to shield, just farm down, and just hope that the only counter to the tanky Pokemon was his Swampert. And he switches into Drifblim, and yeah, you're gonna see that this is a bit deja vu here. He's definitely gonna Icy Wind here, right? I'll just let it go. Oh fuck, Shadow Ball. But we're fine. We're chilling. Chilling. This is definitely Icy Wind, right? This is for sure Icy Wind. Okay, not Icy Wind. I threw the game. I was 2DM. Why didn't he throw Icy Wind? I wanted to win with 2 shields so badly there. Oh well. Nice content. 0 IQ confirmed. Yeah, that was pretty 0 IQ of me. Okay. So yeah, let's forget about that. Really bad lead. Switch into our Stunfisk. Bait out the fighter. So this is essentially, you know, ABB 101. You know, you switch out one Pokemon to bait out the only counter they have to it, and then Bastiodon can sweep. Also, because Stunfisk has pretty good energy generation, if it isn't a Pokemon that, like, let's say you baited out an Azu or something like that, you could try to force the win there just in case they have another fighter in the back. You know, usually Pokemon, the only teams this loses to is other ABB lines, so like a Hypno in the lead and then 2 fighters in the back, or a Flyer in the lead and then 2 Waters in the back, something like that. Those are the only teams that this team loses to, and me throwing, of course. And we decided to shield here because I figured the Shadow Ball is the best thing he has, and yeah, he decides to quit, probably because Vigoroth was his only counter, like I said. So yeah, GG's. Now, this is a pretty neutral matchup. Obviously, we're getting these Weather Balls faster, but in a 2-shield scenario, he will Powder Snow us down because this is a Shadow Obama. So we gotta have to shield everything here, and if you time your Bullet Siege right, you will be able to get to 2 before he does. And seeing as Bastiodon just pretty much kills us, I just switch into Stunfisk as soon as I can, now that both shields are gone. And we know that one Hydro can't kill us, so we just throw the EQ immediately and deal lots of damage to the Swampert. I think he's able to farm us down, but that's okay as well, because we can just go back in, tank this move, and then hopefully that was his only anti-tank, and yeah, it was. Bastiodon would have swept probably. So a nice 401 there after getting some practice games earlier on. So this is, with Charm, a way better, obviously. He's going to take super effective damage from this Weather Ball, and we only have to shield. Actually, we don't have to shield because we get to 2 before he gets to 1. But if he does shield, we can shield, and then we can just Bullet Seed down and have plenty of energy for whatever's in the back. Problem is, I think we're going to see Scrafty here, and yeah, the Scrafty will pretty much sweep our back line. But because we took both shields, we are able to like potentially get an Earthquake off here. This is Power Up Punch, we'll let it go just in case there's some harder hitting thing in the back. So this is exactly the line that I was saying this team loses to. But you're gonna see, we're gonna do okay. Thankfully, this Azu doesn't have Hydro Pump. If it did, we would have lost for sure, because the Azu can easily tank 2 Stone Edges, and the Hydro Pump pretty much kills either of these Pokemon. So pretty fortunate there. I figured from here I need to make sure that I have energy so that I could throw the Flamethrower into the fighter when he comes back, which is why I decided to shield there, because I figured I wasn't going to shield anything else. And then I quickly switch back, EQ, snipe the big threat that is the Scraggy. And yeah, this is another Power Up Punch, which is fine, so we're just going to farm this up and we know that the Azu is very weak, so just a simple Rock Slide will do. So yeah, I think if that Azu had Hydro Pump, we would have lost for sure, and if we didn't take both shields, we would also lost, so pretty good. Good lead here again, and we're just going to this is kind of risky because we kind of need to get rid of this, but I decided to no shield there and then throw my move, hoping that he also won't shield, but also knowing mine would do way more damage, and I would get to the Weather Ball sooner. And now that the counter user's out the way, I'm slightly more safe, and now we can just smack down this Marowak pretty easily. Honestly, I should have just thrown right here. I think I would have lost CMP regardless, but I have switched, so there's no point on me like farming him down and then like throwing at the very last second if I'm like scared that something will farm me down. But he shields, so I realize whatever is in the back is gonna be weak to this as well, and it's a Galvantula. So pretty unfortunate there. His team's very weak to Rock in the back, which is why he has a counter use in the lead. But once that's gone, it's pretty much GG's. So yeah, Mew, you never know what Mew's gonna have. I decided to go straight Weather Ball here, which probably was a mistake, didn't even bait, but I kind of just wanted to deal some damage and then switch out and bait any fighters or waters he had, but he actually had Overheat, which was a big surprise. So we did bait out the water, which is good, so now our Roserade's gonna have a decent matchup, and hopefully, like I said before, Bastiodon can just sweep whatever's in the back, now that his counter's out the way. We do get an extra bullet seed there, which is really good. So we're gonna have to shield this Ice Beam and then throw the Grass Knot, Energy Ball, I forget what it's called. And I think he shields. He does shield, so we're gonna have to shield as well. And we don't really need 2 shields on Bastiodon. We can, hope for the best and just. I decided to do something risky here, and I figured, maybe the Weather Ball will KO here. And a bubble went through, which means now he has Ice Beam. So this was CMP, so I had to throw 2 Weather Balls here to get rid of him, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, but now that he brings in his Venusaur, he doesn't shield, which is really nice, because if he did, I think I would have been in trouble. So now he has to shield here, and I think he's just trying to farm me down. But he takes so much damage just to kill a Roserade with like 10% HP. And now this Bastiodon that's quite healthy is going to be able to smack down these injured Pokemon. And I think I'm expecting an Overheat here. I'm hoping to tank it. And then I decide to farm it down and throw the Flamethrower, which was kind of risky because he did just throw back-to-back Frenzy Plants, so I think I didn't need to farm the Mew down. But GG's regardless. Amazing lead here. He instantly switches to Sableye. And as soon as he switches to Sableye, I realize, oh shit, this is the Totectical line. This is the Azu double Ghost line, and I should have, kept my Bastiodon for the Marowak. But the problem with using Stunfisk against Sableye is that potentially you could lose. Like if he shields an EQ, or if he lets a Rock Slide through, he can mess you up. He can come out of there with energy advantage or shield advantage, and it's really up to him. So that's why I went Bastiodon there, and that's why I also switched to Stunfisk here. I was hoping to bait out. I figured I needed my Bastiodon alive so I could deal some damage against the Marowak, but it was actually Altaria, so I ended up just playing myself. If I just played this team as I did instead of thinking of what imaginary Pokemon might be in the back, we would have been pretty solid. And yeah, I mean he had an Altaria in the back, which would have been really good. Also, I did want to shield that Hydro Pump, but I was too busy just getting distracted by chat. So we're gonna take this L here. But so yeah, so far all the losses have been pretty much throws so far. Like just bad decisions on my part, and this is a new team that I'm playing, so there's that as well. So our first Jellicent, and we actually outpace him. We can get to 2 Grass Knots even if he Bubble Beam baits, And so yeah, we're gonna see here. I have to respect the Shadow Ball. I have to respect the Ice Beam. But he Bubble Beams me here, and I still actually CMP to the second move, and this still KOs. Maybe if this was like a higher rank Jellicent, I know people are powering up whatever Jellicents they get. It might not be very good IVs, but I should have thrown this immediately. I underestimated how fast the Mud Shot Excadrill can be. So I throw this here, even debuffed, it almost KOs, and then I decided to Mud Shot down, but then he switches into his Stunfisk, and I figured, you know, I have to bait here. This is my only win condition, and I felt he had to shield because it is his last shield. His Excadrill's almost dead. What else is he gonna shield? And because I switched in first, I was gonna get to this Earthquake faster, and I can basically put him into range here. And I felt my Roserade was my win condition and not my Bastiodon because I didn't want to get hit by a drill run. So I just tanked this EQ here, and then I switch out. But I actually thought I could win CMP, but I actually lose CMP. But honestly, I could have just done that against the Stunfisk. I could have just switched in my Roserade and throw the Weather Ball on 1 CMP and not worry about the Earthquake. So very close game. Very close to throwing that one as well. So next, Scrafty. Like I said, we want the fighters in the lead, not in the back. So this is good. You know, we get our best matchup here for our Bastiodon. And like I said before, this time we're gonna throw this at the very end because we don't want to get farmed down by the Scrafty. I don't know which one's which. So we're gonna throw right before the last Bone Club so we don't have to shield, and then we're gonna get farmed down like 4 or 5 counters. So I rather give him that energy rather than me using an extra shield, and because we're probably gonna force a shield here, which we do, and then he switches into Altaria, and at this point I'm pretty confident we can just win the game here because I still have a shield advantage. So long as he, you know, doesn't power up punch bait me on the Roserade matchup, we should be okay. And yeah, so I'm just throwing these Rock Slides. I need to make sure I could get a bit of energy. I think I decided to Mud Shot him down from here, which I think is a little crazy. But I feel he was gonna switch soon. So I throw the EQ, I have the EQ ready, and I know this is power up punch, which won't KO. And then I just switch out as soon as I throw the Earthquake, which he has to shield. And then I throw my Grass Knot, and with these 2 shields, I actually get a bit distracted by all the raids, and I don't actually get the Excellence. So I'm forced to shield here and maybe take an extra counter or 2. But yeah, I am able to farm this down and barely get this Weather Ball onto the Altaria. So yeah, GG. I should have probably edited that out, but fuck it. So yeah, next game. Bad lead, pretty bad lead. Altaria into the fighter. We baited it out. I realize, you know, he has to shield here. He has to win switch. He has to shield. So I just go for the bait, and just to get that extra chip damage. And he does shield like I predicted. And that way I can get an extra Rock Slide damage, which might help my Roserades kill it with a single Weather Ball. But I think I miscounted his counters, and when I ended up going back in, I didn't actually throw... Oh, he actually got there before me. So I have to shield here, and for some reason he switches out, which is really nice. So now I get my Bastiodon, lots of value for my Bastiodon here, and you're gonna see this is a really huge mistake from him. So yeah, I guess he thought. I mean, I did the same things, right? You know, switch a Pokemon out and end up losing the game. Otherwise, if you had played normally, you would have won. Because we're gonna see the Medicham here, which is like the complete opposite line to mine. You know, a flyer in the lead against my grass and 2 fighters against my 2 steels in the back. So this is like the complete opposite ABB line to what I have. But I'm able to flamethrower him down a couple of times. And now with his shield disadvantage, I farm up to 5 counters to get as much energy as I can. And from there, I decide to go for the Grass Knot using my last shields to guarantee the KO. So yeah, I should have lost this game if he didn't, you know, switch out. But it's pretty much the same thing that I did a few games ago, you know, overthinking and then end up losing the game. But we get another Altaria lead here, and this time we get Grass and not a Fighter. So we know what to do here. We just throw our Rock Slides. It's the only thing we can do, seeing as Earthquake is resisted. And if he wants to throw EQ here, he can, but Frenzy Plant isn't going to KO, so we'll keep throwing our Rock Slides. And he has to throw now because one more and it will KO, so really nice counting on him, getting all that energy that he could. And I'm just gonna throw immediately here, but he gets there one turn before my Bullet Seed animation ends, so I take a bit of damage, and we end up turn CMPing, which is kind of lame. I lose all that energy, but I switch into Bastiodon here and hope for the best, and we get a Deoxys. And if we had shields down, Bastiodon would have won that because the charge moves wouldn't have hurt, but with shields up, there's no way I win. So we're gonna get another Charm Alolan Ninetales. I think if it was with Powder Snow, I would have been a lot closer, but I guess he tried to, yeah, okay, so I guess he tried to switch into a Weather Ball there, and he got the Grass Knot, and yeah, he just gave up. So let's see this matchup again, I suppose, with with Alolan Ninetales. This time he gets the switch perfectly, and I completely mess it up. Really well switched, but I think he lets this go, expecting it's another one or something else. And seeing as he switched, I switch, get the most out of my Bastiodon against his Fairy. Well, that last game or two was kind of paid actor, but you can see how strong this team is with the double steel, very tanky, very durable, especially when you bait out the only answer you have to the said tanky Pokemon. Like I said, it only really loses to similar ABB lines that have, you know, lose the lead, lose the switch, and then lose the back line. So you're only gonna lose games like that. Generally, you're gonna win pretty much everything else, as you saw today. So very strong backline and a very strong lead. I think Roserade has a lot of potential because of its good unique move pool with Fire and Grass. I think it can take you very far. And obviously we don't have Great League for too much time left, only 3 more days, but I'll definitely be trying this team again when Great League comes back after Ultra and Master and whatever weird cups Niantic gives us. So yeah, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you get something out of this video. Hope that you try it out as well. And if you do liked, yes, let's go with that. If you do liked this video, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter as well. And check out my streams on Twitch that I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that'll help us out a lot. And thank you very much for watching again. And I'll stop talking as I out.